Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries. The latest book from veteran author Vince McKee takes you behind the scenes of some of the biggest moments in Ohio high school football history. McKee has every big rivalry covered, from the Holy War to the Silver Rail. You can find Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries anywhere books are sold or online at Amazon.com. Gable's Search Group. Founded in 2002, they help companies find candidates for most of their open positions nationwide. Gable's Search Group is a professional placement firm located in Willoughby and only 20 minutes from the heart of Cleveland, Ohio. They specialize in areas of accounting, finance, legal, sales and marketing, information technology, engineering, and a host of other personnel. Their company can place an individual on a permanent or temporary basis nationwide. You can find out more about them today by visiting www.gablesearch.com or calling 440-951-9990. Start your career today with Gable Search Group. Airport Go-Kart. If you're looking for a fun time with your kids or friends, then head over to Airport Go-Kart at 16208 Brook Park Road in Cleveland. It's fun for everyone involved at a next to nothing price.
Good evening and welcome in to Week 8 of the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Tonight, the North Ridgeville Rangers host the Midview Middies in SWC action. Cole McDaniel alongside me, Dom Clary. Of course, Brandon Soder back joining us again. Happy to have him back. You will hear from him at halftime as well. Dom, it is a chilly evening here. cloudy, a little bit more of a dreary day. We haven't had any rain through all 7 weeks so far. There was a little bit of a drizzle here before. So far, that's died off again. We'll see if that changes a little bit. But definitely different weather than what we'd seen throughout the season here in Week 8. But good to be with you again, and this definitely feels like October football weather as we're starting to drift later into the year.
Yeah, no, it's glad to be back here with you, Cole. You only got a few weeks left, and I'm glad that we get to be here in North Ridgeville watching what should be a doozy of a football game. But you're right, October weather is different. In high school, I believe is the only football level of football that plays in August. And then through September and October, the season starts a little earlier, so it's a little bit hotter. They really do play in the summer. Well, now it's the fall. Every level plays at this type of weather. Now, keep the ball on the ground. It's going to be a little wet out. Your hands are going to get cold. If you're a lineman, those bruises are going to hurt a little bit more in the morning. It's truly a different game, Cole, and I'm excited to see how both these teams adapt to October football.
And it's a good thing that you mentioned that, because we're going to first start by talking about the home team, the North Ridgeville Rangers, coming in with a record overall of 4-3, 1-3 in the SWC, but right now they're on a skid, a 3-game losing streak, losses to Olmsted Falls, Avon, and Elyria. The offense, they haven't been able to get things rolling in those last 3 weeks. They've only scored a combined 23 points in those games, but they're going to look to get the ground game going, Dom.
Yeah, no, you have a lot of players that can run the ball. I mean, you have Barnhart, Ennis, Stenmetz. I think I said that correctly. Steinmetz. You'll fix that later. So they have 3 options. They like moving on the ground. How do they utilize them here today? The only problem with having 3 great running backs is how do we make sure that they have the ball? A freshman, a junior, a sophomore. They're young for the most part, other than Ennis. How do you get them the ball? How do you utilize them? Here's a test for them tonight. They got started off with 4 straight wins, then 3 straight conference losses. Now their playoff hopes are in the balance. They have to push the dial up to 10. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, and quarterback number 3, the sophomore Brendan Watchorn, he's going to be looking to his receiver when they do go to the air. Star wide receiver, the senior, number 13, Mason Worcester. But talked about it, they're going to have to ride that ground game, have 3 running backs that you're going to see get touches here tonight. That's going to be their path to a possible victory here at home. Talked about the difference in that October weather. Colder, going to want to run that ball. Now the Midview Middies on the other side come in with a record of 2-5 overall, 1-3 in the SWC, so same record in conference play. They are also on a losing streak right now. Lost the last 2 games versus Avon Lake and Berea Mid-Park. Now, tough for them. No Mark Reed at quarterback. Their senior quarterback, he is out. We saw Ethan Vitale, number 3, the senior, taking reps. Looked like he was getting the first team reps there in warm-ups. We'll see if they make any adjustments at quarterback, but expect to see, again, him out there. There were a lot of different quarterbacks, again, actually getting some reps out there. Guys who don't have QB listed on their name on the roster, but we'll see what they can get going out there. When they're throwing that ball, though, and you know they like to, maybe they'll have to change up their game plan now that they don't have Reed, but you have Mason Cusera, Dane West, DeFranco. You have some of those guys that they like to go to when we saw them earlier this year at Olmsted Falls. And Dom, obviously we were there at that game together. What did you see out of Midview earlier this season when we watched that?
It was an offense that they had their thing going in the air, but they get stagnant, maybe lose a yard or 2 on first or second down, and they couldn't gain it back. They got tired. The defense got tired. They're on the field constantly against an Olmsted Falls team that just controls the ball, controls the clock. But now for them today, they're not going against an Olmsted Falls here tonight. They're going against North Ridgeville, a different opponent, a different type of environment. So now they have to control the clock. They have to try to move the game the way they want to see fit, right? They have an opportunity here today to get their second conference win. And their only conference win was against Amherst Steel. So was North Ridgeville as well.
And so as we're about to get the kickoff underway, it will be the North Ridgeville Rangers receiving the football, and then they will be going towards the end zone from right to left on your screen. course, going to try to jump out on the right foot, get revenge from a loss to Midview last year, 35-12, and actually Midview has won 3 of the last 4 meetings. Last win for the Rangers in 2018, a great opportunity for them tonight on homecoming to get back on the right track. This kick into the end zone, and it will result in a touchback, and Watchorn and the offense out onto the field for the Rangers. Of course, also something you and I have talked about previous years as well. Football is a sport that does a really good job with October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You see a lot of the pink towels, the pink socks, pink on the shoes, pink gloves, all those types of things. We're starting to see, now that we're getting towards the heart of October, see that coming out, see a little bit of that from Midview. A lot of those Rangers players out there as well, sporting that pink with their uniforms.
This might be a pistol look here, Cole.
4 wide receivers out there. Pistol, but definitely tailback close to the quarterback there, and Watchorn. Man in motion, hands off. Not much room to run, and Steinmetz taken down. So again, instead of bouncing out to the right-hand side, outside of his line, he tried to go up the middle and quickly swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's an orbit motion there. Usually that ends up into an orbit screen. That was a run there. Not exactly the result you wanted. They're set back a yard or two here as they prepare for second down.
You know, and that looked like a pistol look, like you said, and it was an unconventional pistol look from what we typically see. You typically see the tailback a couple yards behind, instead really close on these handoffs. Getting the handoff up the middle, not much room to run there. Just maybe squeezing through. And Zach Barnhart wearing number 36 here tonight.
I think we both had him as 31 going into the game.
So a little bit of change up there with the jersey number for him compared to what's on the roster there.
We've seen that once or twice, Cole.
Just a few times, I would say, Dom. 2 receivers out to the far side of the field. Tight end almost into the left like an H-back. Quick throw out to the far side, connecting with Steinmetz. He's got room to run, getting down the outside past the 40 and taken down at the 45-yard line after 2 runs that went nowhere. Excellent play on 3rd down to move the chains.
You know, a play like that, hey, let's throw short of the chains and let's let our athletes do what they do, and that's run in space. That's a great play there. Really able to find Steinmetz and let him do his thing and be athletic in space.
So Watchorn talking to his line, communicating. In that pistol look, handoff up the middle, room to run, making a man miss, tripped up past the 50 and falling down just past the 45-yard line down at the 44 is number 36, Zach Barnhart.
You know, the pistol's a little bit different, right? The center usually grips the ball different instead of the conventional have your fingers on the laces, usually your hands on top. I don't know if that's what they're doing. No, it's a conventional hold, but usually in a pistol, you put your hand on top of the ball, a little bit more of a flatter spin of the ball as well.
Steinmetz in motion, handoff to Barnhart up the middle. Turning those legs, powering through a bunch of white jerseys. And those tacklers, he was just dragging them. Got out past the 40-yard line, down at the 38.
The freshman Barnhart, just lowering his shoulder, saying, "Lyman, I'm following you," and they keep pushing. He keeps moving his feet. They fall a few more yards than I think anyone expected here. What was that, 6-7 yard gain? That's beautiful. This offensive line, they're feeling dominant here against the Middies so far.
5'10", 180 pounds as a freshman. That's a big freshman, Dom.
Mm-hmm.
The keeper, and Watchorn dangerous, nearly intercepted. Decided not to hand that one off. That was a bit of an RPO when Watchorn pulled that one back. He was looking out to the right-hand side, and defensive back jumped that. Very fortunate it didn't result in a pick.
So 2 things stand out for me for North Ridgeville. 1, they have some of the best helmets we've seen. 2, they're really young. I mean, for the players that we've highlighted, there's 1 junior. a quarterback sophomore, running back freshman, running back junior, running back sophomore, a senior wide receiver. Just youth all around. Well, that's it. Yeah, senior wide receiver. Other than that, it's all youth here, Cole.
Here's a handoff. Bouncing it out to the left-hand side. Going to get past the first down marker and some after that. Down at the 27-yard line. First down for the Rangers. So 9.5 minutes left to go. And the Rangers piecing together a very nice drive. A couple of plays that didn't go their way, but they've also had some big chunk plays. If they can continue to do that. We talked about it being the key for them tonight, running that ball, and they're going right back to what their repertoire really is.
I like the way you said that, Cole. I like the way you said that. Add a little French accent to the end of that. It was beautiful.
Here's a pitch. Steinmetz trying to get around the edge, nearly taken down. He evades one tackler and fights his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all he's going to get there.
So interesting here. You're seeing Watchorn going to the coach. We don't see that too often. That's an old thing. Actually, Kenny Pickett did that when he was at Pitt there with Mark Whipple's offense. But my team did this in high school where the quarterback goes over, no signal needed. Sometimes you'll have a player that subs in, do the signal as well, or get the play and then give it to the quarterback. That's interesting. That's kind of almost been removed from our game, Cole, where you don't usually see that happening.
Here's a handoff. Barnhart, not much room there. About 3 white jerseys meeting him as soon as he passed the line of scrimmage. If he got half a yard, it was barely half a yard. So still officially 3rd and 10 from the 27. The last 2 plays really looking the way that the first 2 plays of this drive started. And then they had a huge play on 3rd down, looking to do much of the same here.
Steinmetz in the slot there to the top of your screen. Let's see if they give him the ball here quick.
Instead of handoff, Barnhart, room to bounce, gets to the near side and actually down inside the 5, taken down at the 4 is number 1, Carson Matus. So Matus actually in the backfield there, listed as just an outside linebacker on the roster. Put him in at running back, and the sophomore made his way down the field and is now setting up 1st and goal for the Rangers, and looks like a midi is down on the field here at the moment.
I like that. They put a player that we don't usually see in that spot according to our stats. Remember, we got listed here. And then boom, makes a big play. It's what, a 24-yard gain there, Cole. That's a way to go against what the other team knows. Go against the scouting report, keep the defense on their toes.
Well, and it's interesting because obviously Zach Barnhart, you see him be that primary running back. We knew Andrew Innes got touches coming into this game as well. Charlie Steinmetz really operates almost like an H-back. You see him oftentimes tucked in, and then he comes in motion going either right or left, whichever side he lines up on. On 3rd downs, he then moves out to more of a slot receiver position. You see the versatility there. Carson Matus, if you can add him in that's a 4th guy. There's a lot of weapons that you can go to there in the backfield. And on 3rd and 10, going to the ground game, there's not too many places out there you see still do that, and it worked for them. Good to see that the Middies player is up and walking off. Looks like number 55, R.J. Lambert. So now 1st and goal from the 4, and a reminder that this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. Just over 7 minutes left to go here in the first quarter of the Keon Sports Game of the Week. Maybe an opportunity for the first points up on the board. Here's a handoff up the middle. Stonewalled there. No room to run for Barnhart as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage. So Dom, a ton of credit there to the front 7 there of Midview as they just stuffed the middle. They knew what was coming, and they got it done.
Yeah, this defense actually has done a decent job. You don't want big plays. You want teams to drive if they're going to score. It's almost, hey, let's stall this out, and hopefully they'll make a mistake. When an offense is being this consistent, you kind of have to hope as a defense that they make mistakes. They haven't made too many.
Here's the handoff. Again, not much room, maybe about a yard there for Barnhart. Disappeared right in the middle of the crowd there.
One thing with the pistol is you can get a little creative because it is unorthodox, right? Popular there in the I believe the mid-late 2000s, early 2010s in college football. It was really used a lot. Not too much anymore, but you can still be creative with it, and you're not seeing that. Here in the spread offense era of football, not too much creativity. Here with the pistol, be creative with it. Move your quarterback around. Do something weird with your running back, and they're not doing it.
Here's the keeper up the middle. Barnhart pushing from behind. Can he get his quarterback in? It is going to be close and stop just short is Brennan Watchorn. And the crowd, a little bit of a rumble and frustrated. They thought that one was just in and just crossed the plane, but about an inch away from the front of the end zone. So down to 5.5 minutes left in this first quarter. This has been a long, sustained drive, and the offense is going to stay out on the field looking to punch this one into the end zone from the half-yard mark. Here's the push from behind, stopped, and it's going to be tough to tell if they got in. It looks like it's going to be close. Of course, the Rangers think they got in. It looked like Watchorn was stopped short, but Barnhart, his extra push from behind might have got him in, and it's official, a touchdown for the Rangers. They take a 6-0 lead, Dom.
Credit to that offensive line. Bend but don't break. They were strong. The 3 straight plays where it was, we just cannot get the ball in. Finally, took a little push there from a running back to push his quarterback in. They finally get that final push, and he got a touchdown. North Ridgeville with an early lead. And Cole, they really drained the clock with only 4:55 left in the first quarter.
PAT is up, and it is good. So now 7-0 in favor of North Ridgeville here at home, and Midview going to bring their offense out onto the field for the first time. And mention it, well over half of this first quarter already drained off the clock. If you're the Rangers, controlling time of possession while you run the football effectively like that is going to be huge. But something that we saw from Midview there, and a lot of credit to them, backs up against their own end zone, and that front 7 was tough. They made North Ridgeville work for every single inch that they got there. Unfortunate for them that they weren't able to get that stop, but the officials had to think about that one and talk it over because it was close. So now is the Middies about to come out onto the field after they receive this kickoff. We'll see exactly who's going to be at quarterback. Like we said, looked like in pregame warm-ups that number 3, Ethan Bytel, was the guy getting most of the reps. Listed as a running back and defensive back on the roster. But with no Mark Reed, we're going to have to see somebody step up at that position. This one fielded, short kick, about the 20-yard line, trying to make a man miss, out past the 30, and wrapped up and taken down at the 32. And the Middies out on the field for their first drive. So, Dom, regardless of who's at quarterback, though, we also know that from Midview, senior running back James Ansel, we actually didn't see him a ton against the Bulldogs earlier this year, but you'd think they'd have to go to him as well. Here's a keeper, up the middle, Bytel. At that starting quarterback spot, he followed the lead blocker in Ansel and got about a yard there, maybe a yard and a half.
Yeah, he's listed as a running back, I do believe, in a defensive position, I think.
Defensive back, yep.
Defensive back. So there's some speed on him. I doubt this ball is in the air too much. They have tons of offensive line and tight end in front of them.
Man in motion. Here's the handoff going from left to right. Not much room there. Brought down at the line of scrimmage is number 15, Cameron West. The one thing that is definitely a shame if you're Midview, if you're not going to go to the air very much, you lose the impact of Mason Kucera and Dane West and some of those receivers that they were really trying to target earlier in the year. Here's a snap. Bytel rolling to his left. There's a penalty marker down. And this one's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. It looked like Cameron West should have hauled that one in. But we'll wait for the official word here from the official. I think it's going to be against the Middies.
Despite the flag, Cole, you know what I always say. The ball hits your hands.
Better catch it.
Yeah, one swab.
I swear, almost every single week, managed to drop that one in there. But a great reference, and it is very valid. If you're a receiver out there, ball does hit your hands. Again, you should haul that one in. A lot of credit there to Bytel. Some spot work stepping in at quarterback on the run, and he put that one on the money. Should have been hauled in.
I mean, that's not an easy throw. He's running to the left. He's right-handed. You really got to open up your body. You got to contort your way in kind of weird ways. That's, you have college and pro guys that can't make that throw consistently. So the fact that he was able to, it's impressive there by the senior.
So it was actually a legal formation on Midview. Penalty was declined, so now a 4th and 9 from the 33. And the special teams unit for the Middies out on the field to punt this one away. 2 returners at their 35-yard line.
I don't think you can see them on your screen right now, but the return men are really close together. Like, I don't think I've seen that. They're not even middle. They're middle of the hash and then hash. Usually they're hash marks away from each other. Well, there's a platoon subbing going on here. Are they putting their offense back on? That's the offensive line that just re-entered the game. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, and then looks like there are multiple penalties going against both teams, and they appear to be offsetting penalties. But it's interesting that the offense is back out there on the field. And actually, it looks like that's because now they're saying that it's 3rd and 9 again, so not 4th down, as it looked like a moment ago. So the ball's now going to be backed up, and it's going to be 3rd and quite a bit longer, but that's why the offense back out onto the field. Another opportunity for Midview. So 3rd and 14. Three receivers to the near side of the field. Bytel in the gun. Looks like James Ansell stepping up to his right tackle and whispering something in his ear. I'm not sure what they were trying to communicate. There's the official blowing the whistle, and after that long delay, back to playing. Pressure being brought up the middle. Bytel's hit as he throws, and he finds a man to the 30, to the 20, and brought down near the 15-yard line is number 39, Tyler Reeser. So Tyler Reeser, one of those receivers that hadn't mentioned yet so far, but actually saw him be very active in that game that we were at against the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs as well. And he got that catch, and it looked like he maybe could take that one to the house. Defensive back runs him down. A lot of credit to Bytel standing in there, taking the hit, delivering that throw down the field. 1st and 10 from the 16. Here's a handoff up the middle. A little bit of room to run. Out past the 15, maybe got to the 14-yard line. They're going to mark him right at the 15. 2nd and 9.
Cole, who caught that ball again?
Number 39, Tyler Reeser.
That's about 56 yards, I believe, unless I counted something wrong. I probably did, but we'll say it's 56 yards for now. We'll rewatch it later, but wow, what a play.
Under 3 minutes left to go, down 7. Rolling out to the right, Bytel on the run, floats this one towards the end zone. He's got a man in the back of the end zone, and he keeps his feet in bounds. Middies touchdown, Cameron West.
Oh, Middies. You got a ball player right there. Oh, I mean, Ethan Vitale. Showing he can do stuff with the arm. He was finding receivers, making reads, moving out in space. I mean, this is how you win with a backup quarterback. Ooh, someone who's not even listed as a quarterback, who obviously has the talent to do so.
Hold is good, kick is up and good, and we're knotted up at 7-7 with 2.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. And Dom, you said it. Vitale has the ability, again, a running back, defensive back. He can play quarterback. He is a true ball player. A lot of credit to him on that drive, even though that one was incomplete. Rolling to his left, whipping those hips around, delivering a strike. It was incomplete, but a great pass. Then you saw him stand in there for a deep throw down the field and took the hit and found his man for, like you said, a 56-yard reception, and then a touchdown throw for 15 yards to Cameron West as he's rolling to his right and floated that one towards that back corner. Perfect placement. Really did it all, moving to his left, moving to his right, standing in the pocket. Everything on that drive. Great start for them. Now, the Rangers coming back out on offense. Their first drive, lengthy drive. Took up a ton of time here in this first quarter. They were successful on the ground, especially when they were able to bounce it outside of the tackles. North Ridgeville looking to string a drive together here, and you would assume they go back to the ground game once again.
Absolutely. It worked for them once, but now you're kind of worried, hey, if they're going to kind of throw the ball down the field on us, is running the ball the right decision? I say it is until it stops working.
This one a low line drive, fielded at the 4-yard line. Trying to look for some room out to the far side is Connor Costin. He's cutting back. He's got one man to beat. He gets the block around the edge to the 40. Trying to cut back and brought down. Hard tackle right on the edge there, but Dane West pulls him down. And Middy is down also at about the 20-yard line. Second time we've seen a Middy down here early in this one. Training staff out onto the field, so we'll have a brief pause in the action as well. Connor Costin, though, excellent job of keeping his head up and noticing that there was space off to his left and cutting back. A lot of east to west running, but it allowed him to get out to the edge here, and once he hit that left sideline, was able to get a little bit more north and south. Good field position now for the Rangers as they'll start on their own 48-yard line. 2 minutes and 24 seconds remaining here in the first. And as you see, knotted up 7-7. If you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe on that subscribe button here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel. Again, we are nearly to that 1,000 mark on something where we started this channel here right around the state championships last season, and then it really picked up here through the off season, through the draft shows in the spring, and then we have been really coming to take advantage of using our YouTube channel here this fall, and appreciate everybody out there that's continued to help us grow. Again, help us get to that 1,000 mark as we are nearly there. 4 wide receivers, man in motion. Here's the handoff. Steinmetz has plenty of room past the 40, past the 35, and he's taken out of bounds at about the 30. And it almost looked like he might have been taken out of bounds by his face mask. We'll see what the official call is there, but I think it's going to go against Midview. So a personal foul going against Midview. And looks like it actually was a horse collar there on the outside. Thought from over here on the far side of the field it looked like maybe his face mask, but instead back of the jersey there. Far side official all over that one, and now it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 16. So a little different than that slow, methodical drive we saw the last time. Here's a keeper up the middle, and a ton of white jerseys there. No room to run, brought down in the backfield. Brendan Watchhorn maybe should have pitched that one to his left.
Absolutely. It's easy to say, hey, that's the wrong decision, but if you would have broke it for 5-10 yards, then, hey, you should keep it every time. It's usually how we look at those type of pitch plays, but he looks to fix the mistakes here. They've been really good at second and third at long to start the game. Let's see if they continue that trend. It's not an easy trend to continue, I will say. Second and third and long, those are really hard to convert in those situations. Let's see if they can do it here.
Steinmetz in motion. Handoff to Steinmetz. He is taken down in the backfield as he was trying to cut back and go the other direction and slammed down a little bit late. Fans not happy with that. A little bit of pushing and shoving and arguing between the two teams. But those big defensive linemen for Midview have been physical and have really been able to, at times, stop some of those running lanes. That was number 73, Colin Thompson, getting the penetration there in the backfield.
The defensive line, sometimes you need that little, I hate saying this, but sometimes you need that little push, that little shove after the play to say, hey, I'm here all day, I'm in the middle, you have to go through me. Now you gotta back up what you're saying. You gotta be tough inside. This team wants to run the ball. If you're a defensive lineman, now you have to prove what you've been saying.
3rd and 12, here's a pass, and this one should have been intercepted. It was directly into the left hand of number 15, Cameron West, not able to make the one-handed grab there. And now it's going to be 4th and 12, still from the 18 following the incompletion. 36 seconds remaining here in this quarter. And it looks like the offense is going to stay out there on the field.
They must not believe or trust in the kicking situation, which tends to happen here at the high school level. So, hey, offense, we need you to put us in a situation where we can score, which means you have to pick up about 12 yards here. Let's see if they're able to do it. It's a tough situation. Your playbook is really limited.
Rangers haven't gone to the air much, but watch for Worcester on the outside. Instead, coming back to the near side, float to the back corner of the end zone, and that is caught. A touchdown for the Rangers, and they now take the lead. What a throw, put on the money. Connor Costin in the corner, keeping the feet in, knew exactly where he was.
Cool. You just don't see plays like that where he did the Willie Mays type catch where he just looked above his head, was waiting for the ball to drop right there. That's a drill you practice at all levels of football with the wide receivers. Keep her head up in the air, trust the ball will get there. Boom, right in the pocket. Perfect placement. See Antonio Holmes 2-tap, touchdown. That's beautiful play there, Cole. Not just the throw, but the catch as well.
Here's the PAT, and it's up and good, and now the Rangers take a 14-7 lead. So the decision to go for it on 4th and long certainly pays off for the Rangers, and we haven't seen them go to the air hardly at all. And Costin gets that touchdown there in the back corner of the end zone. A gorgeous throw there from Watchorn after one that should have been picked off the time before. If you're Midview, again, that's one you wish you could have back.
You're 4th and long, and you're thinking, oh, they can't really do much against us. And then, boom, they finally throw the ball. It's a big-time play, about 17 yards. It's just, as defense, those are the plays you're going to look back to tomorrow when you're watching film and say, man, how did we not stop them? Cornerback, what were you doing? Pass rush, why didn't you get there in time? Just a lot of, we can't let this happen as a team. These are some of the things that Midview has to iron out before they're able to take the next step from bottom, middle of the pack to competing at the top with these other teams. And it might, that's not an easy jump to make, Cole.
So this kick, a low squib kick, takes a bounce, fielded at the 15-yard line. Trying to find some room to run and taken down at about the 35, and that's where the Middies and Vitale will come out and start their second drive. So 2 times in the red zone for the Rangers. They've capitalized both opportunity. 1 time in the red zone as well for Midview. They're going to try to make their way down the field again. So both teams have been converting quite well on offense so far. And we'll see if Midview can respond. Back to pass, looking deep into double coverage, and there's a completion hauled in by number 9, Dane West, the junior. Dropping that one in on a dime Vitale looks really good, Dom. Really good to start this game.
Cool. That was remarkable. I was trying to send out tweets and figure out the stat situation, and that was remarkable. Dane West, way to grab that triple coverage on him.
Midview not needing to get a snap off, and that is going to do it for the first quarter, with the Rangers leading at home 14-7, but Midview knocking on the door. We'll be right back for the start of the second quarter.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by All-in-One Services. Mike Zeck brings 37 years of experience with him to every job. Doesn't matter how big or small, Mike Zeck with All-in-One Services is the man to get it done. He can be reached at 919-909-7779 or online at allinoneservices.net. You can also email him pictures of the job needed to mzek@allinoneservices.net. B.A. Sweetie Candy Company. The world's most famous candy company is right here in our backyard. They are located at 6770 Brook Park Road in Cleveland, and it is a candy lover's paradise. They have every candy from your childhood, so make sure to visit them today.
And we're back here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel for Week 8 of the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Midview now at the 25-yard line with a 1st and 10 following the huge completion. Man in motion. Kucera trying to get out to the far side on the jet sweep. Unable to get any positive yardage there, as the Rangers were really defending that edge quite well.
That's good defense. Your sideline's your friend. When you are the defense, make them go out of bounds. Your defense. Don't be afraid to use. I mean, that's your 12th defender, essentially, as a defender. That's what you're always taught. I mean, because you're taught drills where there's 2 of you and you surround them. I mean, that's what the sideline does there. Push them out of bounds. Good work there by them.
3 receivers to the near side of the field. Running back to the right of Vitale, and looks like Ansel was swallowed up there. No room to run up the middle. And actually looks like that was number 45, Alex Warinsky, who was actually in the backfield there. Now he lines up at tight end. 3rd and 12 now from the 27. Vitale rolling to his left. Looking down the field. He's going to launch this one and just throw this one down to the corner of the end zone. A little bit of miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receivers. And after the incompletion, now 4th and 12 from the 27. So 4th and long, end of the first quarter, really the same spot where we saw North Ridgeville go for the end zone, threw it to the back corner and scored. Can Midview have the same success as they keep their offense out on the field?
We'll have to stand up right now. This game's getting a little intense here. If they complete this, I might be ending up in the 4th row here, these bleachers.
Out to the far side looking, instead going over the middle. This one put up for Kucera. Defensive back gets his hand up there and unable to bring that one in. Mason Kucera, the senior wide receiver, it was in his hands. Defensive back, like I said, just making a good play there, Dom. Turnover on downs.
No, that defense, way to recover if you're North Ridgeville. I know this was a big moment. You see that coaching staff getting excited. They deserve to get excited there. That's great work there by them.
Again, Dom, you said you had to stand up because, again, this game is getting intense. A lot of back and forth, a lot of big plays. It has been entertaining. Also, you said you might find your way down into the stands. If anybody out there from North Ridgeville knows of a spare hat that the band wears, Dom loves those Rangers hats. He was admiring them earlier. Here's the carry off to the near side of the field. Wrapped up and swung out of bounds at about the 35-yard line.
You know, if any North Ridgeville supporters, if you have a spare hat and it comes my way, we'll do a whole 30-minute feature on you and put some. And I'm not joking, I will do that. And you know that will be your reward if I'm giving a hat, putting that out there. Hey, maybe buy you dinner or something. And a reward for one of those beautiful hats that the band wears. They might be made out of plastic, but They look cool, and it doesn't matter.
Dom was a football player, but he wishes tonight he was in the band.
Absolutely.
Here's a handoff up the middle, looking for some room and really just slipping past a tackler, Zach Barnhart. Stretches forward, gets about 1.5 yards there on that carry, making it third and very manageable. It looks like this is just going to be just short. They might actually measure this one because the tip of the ball is very close to that marker. It looks like it's going to be just a couple inches short, but we'll wait for the official spot here as the chain gang will come out and measure.
You know, Cole, you talked about breast cancer awareness. You ever wear any stuff when you were playing soccer?
You know, that is something that didn't do too much of. You know, I wish we did more of. That's something that there's many more accessories though for football that you have, because you have the gloves, you have the sleeves, you have all those things. So there's more accessories that you can do it with. I'd say the one thing maybe some people would do at times, you know, tape on the wrist, things like that. But no, nothing specifically. It's something that football does a great job of. But again, they have that ability with all those accessories to do it as well.
Yeah, I know we had a rule where everyone had to get their wrist tape, and the seniors determined it. We had a pink out game, and all the seniors had to wear the pink tape. Sadly, we weren't allowed to wear our pink socks.
So tip of the football just there, so makes it 1st and 10, and now a handoff up the middle. And Barnhart making it hard to bring him down, and he gets out about 1 yard short of the first down marker to move the chains again. But there is a penalty marker down on the field. I would assume from where this is spotted, it's going to go against the Rangers. So holding against North Ridgeville. Back them up 10 yards after a really nice carry on first down. So now 1st and 15. Steinmetz, the H-back to the left of the line. 2 running backs in the backfield. The pitch, and quickly brought down as Watchorn actually made the correct decision because he had a man in his face. He pitched away at the perfect time, but that edge just not set, and the ball carrier quickly wrapped up and brought down. Not much room at all there.
2nd and long situation. They tend to still run situations like this. If you're Midview, got to be careful. They're loading up the line. They don't really have a safety. This is a true cover 0.
Ball still on the 32-yard line. Man open, and that one just short arm there. Charlie Steinmetz almost looked like a little bit of a wheel route as he was leaking out of that backfield. If Watchorn was able to float that one over his shoulder and put it on him, he would have had some room to run. Instead, Steinmetz trying to come back to that ball, and he slipped as he was diving back to it, and it falls incomplete. Now 3rd and 15, still from the 32.
I mean, you got a sophomore QB there. He's learning into those opportunities. I know tomorrow in the film room, they're definitely going to emphasize, hey, need a little bit more oomph on that ball there, but 3rd and long, let's see, are they going to trust their sophomore QB and see if he can launch the ball?
Back to pass, looking in the near side, he finds his intended target, getting around the edge. Some room to run there. Andrew Ennis, we talked about him being an impact player out of the backfield, but hadn't seen much of them so far this evening. And on that reception, moves the chains and out into Middies territory. Ball now spotted at the 46. 8.5 minutes left to go in the 2nd quarter. Rangers looking to drive and make this a 2-possession game here at home. In the pistol, hand off to Barnhart. Barnhart trying to find that B gap there between the right guard and the right tackle, and just white jerseys right there in front of him. A little bit of a gain there, but not quite like those big chunk plays we've seen from him so far this evening.
The B gap. I like that, throwing your football knowledge. Now, if you were a defensive coordinator, it would be the B gap. But if you're a offensive coordinator, depending what scheme you're running, that's probably a going left to right, what?
Yep.
6-hole, yeah.
Yeah.
Runs a little bit differently.
Man in motion. And brought down in the backfield on that jet sweep there. Andrew Ennis had a really nice gain the last time he touched the football. That time there, brought down behind the chains. Loss of 3 on the carry. Well, and have to say, we talked about this. Despite the Rangers getting a lot of nice chunk plays, Midview's front 7, specifically those big defensive linemen, they have been plugging those gaps quite well and limiting some of those big plays. But when it gets out around the edge, that's when it's become a bit of a problem. Of course, commentators curse as I'm giving the Middies their credit up front. Encroachment jumping off sides and going to give a free 5 yards to the Rangers.
So funny enough about that, we're going to blame the defensive lineman, but it wasn't exactly a mug look. A mug look is when when you have both shades open and you have the linebackers right on the center. That's a mug look. It's not really a mug look. You had one of the linebackers. He was tapping. He was tapping the nose guard. And I think it got him a little too excited, and he jumped off sides. That can happen from time to time.
2 receivers to the near side of the field. Man in the face of the quarterback. And Colin Thompson swallows up Brendan Watchhorn. Hardly any time for the quarterback there. And that sack, now a big loss, and would assume that the punting unit's going to come out here and just play the field position game now.
That's good work by Midview. I mean, they haven't capitalized on those opportunities on defense where they've put them in these second, third and longs, but they haven't been able to get that stop to really get the ball back. I mean, they've kind of let Ridgeville do whatever they wanted on them on those third and long opportunities, and finally, defense comes up big.
This wobbler on the punt nearly stopped at the 1 yard line as it was rolling favorably for North Ridgeville. Coverage team trying to get down there. The Gunners nearly getting to that one. And like I said, just into the end zone, maybe about a second too late. So now 6 minutes and 14 seconds left here in the second quarter. Rangers still with that 14-7 lead. Now, even though because of getting behind the chains due to the penalty and getting off schedule, Midview had a really nice first drive, and they were starting to piece together a good one last drive. They just weren't able to get it done. Stopped on 4th down on a throw that had a chance over the middle. Here's Kucera in motion. Bytel trying to scramble, and he will be swallowed up. Navy blue jerseys in the backfield, taking him down at the 16-yard line. Loss of 4.
You know, Bytel really does his best work when it is a sprint out play where you have kind of that flood combo going his way, and he does a good job usually reading that, making a play, knowing when to take it, when to run it.
4 wide receivers, throw into the slot. Kucera getting around the edge. He has room to run, and we know he has speed. Getting chased from behind, and he will step out of bounds just past the 50-yard line. They will spot him out at the 48. Excellent run after catch there for the senior.
Ball is spotted at the 47-yard line of North Ridgeville. First down, Midview.
And you're right, we have seen him do stuff like that before. You want to utilize him as much as possible. Boy, does he have that breakaway speed.
Quarterback keeper up the middle, finds a hole, and getting up to the first down marker. Only 1 play needed to move the chains again. Things are rolling for Midview. So a very offensive first quarter between these two teams. The second quarter, the defenses have started to pick it up. They've gotten the necessary stops. Now you're starting to see Midview drive again. Last time, they started to get closer to this territory, and then that's where things started to sputter. Can they really press forward into the red zone, make something happen? Here's a handoff. Trying to get around the edge there. Positive gain there for Midview on that carry. Number 22, Hunter Anderson, the junior on the carry.
Vitel's really looked the part, hasn't he? Where, usually when you have a out-of-position player at quarterback, you can tell. You can't tell with him here tonight.
Vitel looking to the right and just tried to place that one where only his receiver could get to it. Intended for number 39, Tyler Reeser, who they've connected for a really big play earlier in this one. And that one, if you're going to throw it out close to the sideline there, at least, like I said, when you're going to throw that, at least you put in a spot where only your receiver can get to it. 3rd and 7 now from the 33. 2 receivers to the near side. Vitel, a keeper, up the middle, cutting through the middle. Slips past the official, staying on his feet, keeping the legs churning, getting some extra yards after he was hit, moved the chains, down at the 20-yard line.
That's one way to pick up the yardage that's need a little bit more. 3rd down, it's getting a little bit more than we're supposed to. I know the offensive coordinator will never be upset about that.
Running that spread again. Running back to the right of Vitel. Looking out to his right. Gets the completion and no room to run following the grab. So Dane West, one of those talented receivers, he looked up, was not able to make that defensive back miss, and that's a great job by the corner, breaking down the receiver, not letting him get around you. Just a smart wrap-up tackle, keeping that head up, only allowing 1 yard.
Defense breaking down. It's impressive there.
Keeper, once again, we've seen this a couple times, and not the same success for Vitel as he is taken down in the backfield. He tried to almost back up and then find a way to bounce out of that one. But the navy blue jerseys right in his face. And a timeout now. With just over 3 minutes left to go. 3rd and 11 coming up from the 21, Dom. So, interesting again to see just the positive drive that they're having. Talked about the last time they hit around this territory. They stalled out. 3rd and long, 4th and long, turnover on downs. Do you think they change it up a little bit with what they were doing play calling wise compared to that last drive here when they hit this territory? Or do you think they're going to keep it pretty similar to what they've been doing?
Here's exactly what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to have Vitel roll out to the left and a sprint out play, have your offensive line follow. Elephants on the parade is what we like to call it. The waterfall action in the back, and then you're going to have a wide receiver in the corner of the end zone. Well, I think that's what they were trying to do last time. I think it was a little bit of a broken play. I think that's what they do. You have long side of the field to the left here. Why not use it? Now, probably won't with your running back to your right here, but still could happen.
Instead, looking out to the right, that one's tipped, but it looks like it was nearly hauled in. No, incomplete in the direction of Kucera out to the far side. And a lot of credit to the edge defender there, getting that big paw up and that deflection just enough to force the incompletion. So now 4th and 11. They had a turnover on downs on a 4th and 12. So just a difference of a yard here. Offense out on the field by Tell, looking towards the end zone. Same play over the middle to Kucera, that time a little bit high, and falls incomplete. Second drive, turnover on downs for Midview in a row.
I mean, they're just stalling out I mean, it's nice if you're Midview that, hey, our offense can move the ball down the field. This is what we've been waiting for all year. Finally able to get things done. Not able to punch the ball in the end zone. That's probably the biggest effect of this offense so far is once they get around that 20-yard line, it's not that they're not able to put it in the end zone, but they're barely even able to enter the red zone, let alone the end zone. So some adjustments that need to be made here with 3 minutes left, but their defense wants to give their offense one more opportunity. It's a good spot to do that here.
And so the Rangers back out on offense. Ooh. Interesting play here. Little trickery. Pitch to Steinmetz, going back to the left-hand side of the field. Got out around the edge. Gain of about 6 there for Steinmetz.
I like that play just because you have, they're going to do the orbit run play. No, they're going to do the handoff. No, maybe triple option. No, it's going a complete other direction. I enjoy a play like that. You set that up all game long where we saw the orbit pitch, we saw the orbit handoff, and then we saw triple option, and then boom, do it the other way. I like that, Cole.
Steinmetz, that H-back, looking down the field, and this one's deep and going to really fly a good 5 yards out of bounds as Watchorn really just tried to float that one down the field. Again, no chance of being able to haul that one in. It was well out of bounds there over on the Middies sideline. So now 3rd and 4 from the 27. And plenty of time on the clock to still run the ball right now. Do what you do best and pick up the first down. Watchorn communicating with his line, seeing that pressure coming from the outside. Quick throw out to the far side. Hauled in by Devin Williams, senior receiver. Moves the chains. And it stops the clock momentarily as they spot the ball.
Now, the concerning thing about this offense here in a situation like this where they want to kind of move a little quicker is that they do have Watchorn run to the coach for every play. I wonder what their NASCAR package is, if they have any signals for that.
On the move, Watchorn up the middle. Positive gain there near the 40-yard line, officially at the 39. Gain of 7 on the keeper. And the clock continues to tick, now down to 1 minute and 40 seconds.
They gave him a gain of 8 there, Cole.
Looking to the outside. One of the first receptions we've seen for the senior wide receiver, Mason Worcester. So now after the first down, ball's at the 44-yard line. 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Heaving this one down the field, defensive back has the position. Looks like that one was nearly going to be intercepted, and on the dive, contact with the ground forced the incompletion. Cross-Worthy was so close to hauling that one in for the Middies, and the Rangers still live to see another opportunity with 1 minute and 12 seconds left.
You know, Worcester went from a wide receiver looking for a deep ball to a defensive back trying to defend it. Not every wide receiver can find the time to get that switch to, hey, I can't get this. I'm going to need to make sure he can't get this. That was a good way to kind of flip that switch there on that play, though I know he wanted that. Now they're going to look at it to his way again here.
Man in motion, handing this one off. Innes looking for some room to run. Out to the 47-yard line, and a timeout called by the Rangers. So a smart timeout there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Want to talk this one over. Of course, you want to move the chains, but now you also have to be very cognizant of that time as you have just over a minute left here in the quarter. And we also know that based off of what they decided on that 4th and long earlier, they decided not to go for the field goal. So again, their field goal range must be kind of tight. So I would think they need to get really down to about the 20 or inside that before you'd really see the Rangers try to attempt a field goal.
No, and at this point, they might be, hey, let's run our offense. We know, we'll look for deep shots while we can, but maybe we can get a big run here. I think that's kind of what the thought process is here. I don't mind it because what you're doing is you're kind of, hey, if we do have to punt with a few, so many seconds remaining, that's okay because they won't be able to do anything with it either. I don't mind that. If you can get it on the midi side of the field, you're giving your defense, hey, we have a break here with a little bit of time left.
Innocent motion again. Instead, an interesting play here, and throw in the dive, incomplete, as Steinmetz was the one looking down the field. Tricky coming out of the timeout. It actually came back to bite the Rangers as they were not able to convert on that third down. They're going to send the punting unit out on the field, punt this one away with 59 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So the Middies, they're going to need to pick up yards quickly, but they're going to have some time to look for some big hitters if they choose to do so.
And the way Midview's been today, they could probably hit a deep shot or two.
Instead, a fake punt and getting the first down. What a play there by the senior. As the thing that kind of keyed that one off is you saw the man come in motion from left to right. Not something you typically see on a punt. Allowed the blockers to get out in front, and you saw the senior receiver, Worcester, get out past the first down and moving the chains out to the 40-yard line, and he got out of bounds. Stopping the clock, 54 seconds left, 1st and 10. That's a killer if you're Midview. Gutsy play call, and a very smart decision there for the Rangers because it paid off.
So in that huddle, that was definitely, hey, we're doing this trick play. I like that. I like the deep shot trick play now,
Here's the pass here to the near side, and it is hauled in by none other than Worcester.
But I like that trick play now, now that we see that there was a punt, the fake punt there. I don't know. Again, if they didn't get it, I know we'd be saying, oh, they should just kept the offense out there and go for it. But really, since it was executed well, it's easy to say, hey, that's a great play. I don't know if I would have done that, but obviously it was the right decision.
So 2nd and 5 upcoming here from the 35-yard line. 50 seconds left. As that clock stopped. Stepping out of bounds following the completion. 4 wide. There's a clap of the hand. Looking to the far side. Floating this one.
Wow.
And this one, 50-50 ball, and it looks like it's going to be a completion. No! It's going to be an interception. Midview coming away with it on that 50-50 ball. There's a fight between the defensive back and the wide receiver in the Middies after allowing that fake punt and allowing the Rangers to pick up the first down. Their defense steps up big and slams that door shut on going down 2 scores.
Was that Dane West? Was that number 9?
I believe so, Dane West.
That was a one-handed grab, Cole.
Yeah, floated behind him. He reached back, 50-50, again wrestling for that football. And the strength there of the junior receiver, Dane West, to be able to keep that one in his possession. Now 43 seconds remaining. Ball on the 7-yard line, though. See if the Middies try to make a big play happen, and maybe an opportunity here. An excellent run out past the first down marker. Looked like tackled inbounds. I don't know if running back was quite able to get out of bounds there.
I don't think he was, Cole.
So as soon as this gets spotted, clock should start. And it begins to run. Down to 30 seconds left. 1st and 10 from the 20. 2 receivers here to the near side of the field. Vitale, keeper, up the middle. And that one, not much room there. He's going to gain about 2 yards. And actually, no, an excellent surge forward at the end. It looked like he wasn't going to make it past 2 yards. Really got about an extra 2 or 3. And that should be the last play of the quarter after 2 run plays. And that is going to do it as these 2 teams go to the locker room. And the Rangers hold a 14-7 lead. So how we ended the first quarter is how we end the second. The defenses holding strong. And before we take a break and step away here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel, Dom, your final thoughts on that first half.
I think this is a game that we thought we were going to see in two teams, kind of middle of the pack, kind of been a rough go for the last few weeks, and they're able to just let their frustrations out on each other. They want to prove that, hey, we're on the up and coming, and right now we see two teams that are really battling. This has been a fun one. We see two quarterbacks that are, trying to give it out to their weapons. Running backs are trying to get things going a little bit, but two offensive defensive lines that are really, really laying it at each other. Cool. This has been a fun one thus far, and the second half is going to be even better.
And Dom, you said two teams that are really getting after each other. Expect a really good second half. So if you haven't already, also, we'd appreciate if you share this stream as well on Facebook, on Twitter. Make sure you get that stream out there so as many people can tune into this one and watch the second half, because a good one is coming up. For myself, Cole McDaniel, as well as Dom Clary, we're going to step aside and take a break here during halftime. But again, Brandon Soder back with us here, part of our three-man crew. You're going to hear him at halftime giving an update on what's going on here. Again, doing a great job for us once again tonight. So you will hear from Brandon in just a moment, so don't go away, but we'll step away here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Back Attack Snacks. They're a healthy option on the go and provide the very best in healthy snacking. With everything from beef jerky to roasted almonds, they have it all. Visit them online at backattacksnacks.com. Car Parts Warehouse. If your car is in need of repairs, then the first place you need to call is Car Parts Warehouse. They cut out the middlemen and bring the service right to you. Find them online at carpartswarehouse.net. Cleveland Bakery Collective not only focuses on bringing together some of the best food and flavors in the Cleveland area, but creating a collaborative and supportive environment where local food artists can prepare, produce, store, and sell their delicious products all in one convenient location. Check them out online at clevelandbakerycollective.com.
And welcome into the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week halftime show. I am your host here, Brandon Soder, and boy, do we have a great game on our hands. At halftime, the traveling Midview Middies currently trailing the hosting North Ridgeville Rangers 7-14. Folks, this is about as even of a matchup as you could get to this point. Really, this could be a tie game very easily right now. It looked like we might have a little bit of a shootout on our hands. Right away, North Ridgeville in the first quarter just ran the ball down Midview's throat, and it did not look like they were going to be able to be stopped on the ground. But Midview responding immediately. Two huge chunk pass plays put them right back in the game, tying it up at 7 apiece. But then North Ridgeville, not satisfied with just keeping it on the ground, discovered a passing game of their own and really started going at it with a balanced attack, put 7 more up on the board, and it has been all defense since then. One interesting thing about this game, it seems like every time we get to a third down situation or a third and long, or even a fourth and long in some instances, drives stay alive. It's been all about big plays here in the second half. We saw North Ridgeville nearly complete a perfect 2-minute drill, marching their way down the field. Nice short, crisp passes, getting out of bounds. Ran a fake punt on fourth and long, which kept the drive alive, but a costly pick put them out of contention there as Midview was able to then run it out. And here we are at halftime. But like I said, folks, defense is stepping up. Both sides of the ball, or both teams rather, have shown that they have the ability to move the ball when they need to. So make sure you stick around because the fireworks have just started, and I've got a feeling we're going to have an exciting ending on our hands out here in North Ridgeville. Folks, couple reminders for you. If you are watching this right now, that means you are on the Keon Sports YouTube channel. Folks, we are incredibly close to hitting that 1,000 follower mark. Again, all of you have been amazing. If you were already following the channel, thank you. Again, starting this less than a year ago, it's been an awesome ride so far, and we're only going to continue to grow and put out more content for you. But if you are a Midview or North Ridgeville fan just seeing us on here for the first time, hit that subscribe button, right? Get those notifications. Next time that we're covering either of your teams, be the first to know about it. So make sure you subscribe and see the rest of our action here. Still 2 more weeks left of high school football as well, so plenty on the slate for you. That also said, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and start dropping in the comments who you think is deserving of the Back Attack Snacks Player of the Game. Right now, plenty of players on both teams that can be nominated for it. And again, generally speaking, we take it from the winner. And right now, I don't know which way this game is going to go. So make sure that you are dropping in those comments. Let us know who you believe should be the Back Attack Snacks Player of the Game. And one more thing for you folks. If you're a high school football fan, which again, I hope you are if you're watching this tonight, KeyOnSports.com is your source for all Northeast Ohio high school football. Once again, just under 30 games covered tonight by our fantastic team of writers and interns. So make sure after this game, or if you're checking this out the next morning, go to KeyOnSports.com for the recap of all of the Northeast Ohio high school football action. So that's going to wrap it up for me, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the Key On Sports halftime show. Your score, the Midview Middies 7, North Ridgeville Rangers 14. We'll be right back for the third quarter.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Cleveland Fitness Club. They have it all: bikes, tracks, courts, and even pools. They truly have something for everyone and are open 365 days a year. You can visit them today at 6600 West 130th Street in Middleburg Heights. Climate Tech Inc. For 48 years, family-owned and operated Climate Tech has been the premier company for all HVAC services. For both residential and commercial, they have it covered. They offer free estimates on equipment replacement and 24-hour emergency service. Visit them at climatetech.com. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop has been your trusted barber for nearly a century of great haircuts. With affordable prices and excellent customer service, there's no better place to get your cut. It is located at 26915 Center Ridge Road in Westlake. Dick Esser Plumbing. Get exceptional plumbing repairs and installations for your commercial property from the experienced professionals at Dick Esser Plumbing and Heating Incorporated. They provide honest services and quality workmanship. You can find out more about them today at dickesserplumbing.com. Frankie's Italian Cuisine. Looking for a place to enjoy a post-game meal? Love Italian food? Frankie's Italian Cuisine has you covered from meatball to lasagna. Visit them tonight at 4641 Great Northern Boulevard in North Olmsted. Great Lakes Training. Great Lakes Basketball caters to athletes of all ages and experience levels with a wide variety of training techniques. Book your first session today at www.greatlakesbasketball.com or email Coach J at coachj@greatlakesbasketball.com. Helene Kia. Looking for a new or used car? Check out our guy Jim McConville at Helene Kia in North Olmsted on Lorraine Road. Jim is a trusted member of the auto community for over 20 years, and he will treat you right no matter your car buying need. Hinckley Roofing. They are your first choice in commercial and residential roofing. This family-run company has been around for 50 years and is your first choice in trusted roofing needs. You can find them online today at hinkleyroofing.com or call them at 330-273-2979. JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL is a licensed, bonded, and insured contractor with the experience to complete any job needed for your home or property. Let their team of professionals help you with vinyl siding, windows, roofing, and gutters. Get the job done right the first time and stress-free with JBL. Call them today at 330-677-9463 or visit them on the web at jblrc.com. Jeffrey Protects Insurance. In today's day and age, insurance from someone you can trust is more important than ever, and you won't make a better choice than Jeffrey Protects Insurance. At JPI, they specialize in Medicare, healthcare insurance, and life insurance. Visit them at jeffreyprotects.com or give them a call at 330-304-7267. Jenny's Popcorn. You can find their flavors anywhere popcorn is sold, including Giant Eagle and Mark's. Visit them online at jennyspopcorn.com or in person at 38727 Taylor Parkway in North Ridgeville, Ohio. They have everything from butter, cheese, caramel, and everything in between at this popcorn paradise. Jerome, Grauer, and Associates. They handle estate planning and their steps are so simple. They handle everything from simple wills to complex trust planning. Contact them today for your legal needs at 216-241-9990 or check them out online at jeromelaw.com. Julie Dangerfield of Keller Williams Realty. Julie has the experience, knowledge, and determination to get the job done. Contact her at 440-309-0396 or by email at julieand222@gmail.com for a complimentary market analysis of your home value today. Kelly McLean Achievement Center, the premier resource for high school athletes who wish to continue to play in college. They provide a one-on-one consultative approach to help students determine their needs and goals. Visit them online at kellymac.com. Makeaway Dumpster. At Makeaway, customers get discounts on days and prices. They offer 24-hour delivery in most cases, along with 10, 15, 20, and 25 cubic yard containers. With Makeaway, there are no hidden charges for drop-off, pickup, or wait. Find them at makeawaydumpsterrental.com. MDG Flooring. If you're in need of quality flooring for your home or office, look no further than MDG Flooring America in Medina. There is nothing that Steve and his talented staff cannot handle. Call them today at 330-725-5252 or stop in and visit them in person at 3812 Pearl Road in Medina. Nancy's Main Street Diner. They only prepare your meals with the freshest ingredients. The dishes are made to order as they never use heat lamps and they take no shortcuts whatsoever. They're located at 426 Main Street in Grafton, Ohio. Nancy's Main Street Diner is your choice for all 3 daily meals. Play CLE. Play CLE is the ultimate indoor adventure park in Northeast Ohio. With zip lining, ninja obstacle courses, climbing walls, and the area's largest indoor ropes course, Play CLE is the best option to get inside and have some fun and adventure. It's the perfect place for your next team building event, birthday party, or field trip. With an on-site bar and kitchen, Play CLE makes sure you are properly fueled to reach new heights. To learn more, visit playadventureparks.com or stop by the facility in Avon off 611 and Chester. Salad Craze. Looking to eat healthy and go away happy? Try Salad Craze. They have been voted Cleveland's healthiest restaurant 4 years in a row. Stop in for yourself and find out why at 690 Avon Belden Road in Avon Lake. You can check out their menu at saladcraze.com. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries.
Channel. Week 8, Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week, and the North Ridgeville Rangers holding a 14-7 lead. Now, of course, they received the football to start the game, so it's going to be the Middies to get the opening possession. They've actually had 2 good drives on their last 2 drives, but both stalled out on 4th and longs, actually similar plays and passes that were not able to be hauled in. First one in and out of the hands of the receiver, defensive back breaking that one up. Last time over the head of Mason Kucera, nothing he could do there. So, can the Middies, when they come back out, Dom, get things rolling once again on offense? That's going to be the big question, but we have seen them pick up a lot of yards.
Yeah, no, Midview, you need Bytel to be your guy, right? It's not really a guy that you think, hey, it's not a quarterback, according to the depth chart, but hey, let's see what he can do. He's been phenomenal. I mean, 5 for 11, 158 yards and a touchdown, and he can do more. Move him out in space. If you want this half to be different, move him around. Don't let him be stagnant. He is an athlete. If you're going to have him run the ball, not just, between the guards there, let him between the tackles, outside of the tackles. Let him move around. That's the emphasis here if you're the Middies.
So the Middies very much so still in this game, but the Rangers have to be feeling like they're in a pretty good spot. They've also moved the ball quite well. Had an opportunity to maybe go up 2 scores there at the end of the first half. Interception thrown, a wonderful grab there by Dane West, the defensive back, hauling that one in for the Middies, only keeping them down 1 score. But the Rangers, they have to be pleased with what they've seen here at home, homecoming weekend, and finding themselves up. See what they can do as their defense comes out onto the field, try to get a stop and maintain that lead. Now, also a shout out, thanks again to Brandon Soder, who hopped on here. You heard him at halftime giving a brief breakdown of what happened in the first half. Again, shout out to him, doing a great job here tonight. Happy to have him back with us once again. Now, as well as if you want to pay attention to what's going around the area and follow up, whether that's later tonight, tomorrow, see about all those games, what happens, scores around the area, make sure to go to our website, keonsports.com. Again, nearly 30 games per week we have been covering each and every single week here through the regular season. We're quickly approaching the playoffs, and of course, you're going to be able to find a lot of coverage still on the Keon Sports website as well. That's keonsports.com. As I mentioned before in the first half, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button here on the YouTube channel, make sure you do so. Please do so. Help us continue to grow high school coverage around the area, all the coverage that we do, all the shows that we also have on the YouTube channel. And a reminder as well, when it comes to the Jenny's Popcorn Player of the Week and voting, you have to be subscribed on the YouTube channel for your vote to count. So a lot of great things going on with Keon Sports. We've been having a great season so far. Plenty of games coming up, Week 9, Week 10 for us as well. So a lot on the broadcast schedule for us here still. That kick going to be coming from right to left on your screen as the Rangers going to be sending this one away. The last couple times we've seen Austin DeShazo kick this one away. It's been low squibs. So Midview going to be prepared for this return. And there's the whistle, and stepping up for the kickoff. This one actually going to be a short little pooch kick, fielded at the 34-yard line by number 32, James Ansell. And so Bytel in the offense, back out on the field for the Middies. Decent field position after that catch on the return. It looked like that one was caught directly at the 34. They gave him an extra yard. Midview will take that extra yard and start the drive now at the 35. 1st and 10. Bytel Intercepted, picked off. This one's going to be taken to the house. Carson Mattis jumped the route. The sophomore outside linebacker saw that one going into the flats to Mason Kucera. Disaster for the Middies on the first play of the second half. Huge for the home Rangers.
What a play. Carson Mattis able to get in the backfield there. Saw the bubble screen going on. He saw that there was a wide receiver a few steps back. Was able to read that, jump the pass to the house. Was never going to get caught there. That is beautiful defense, textbook. That's how you read your keys.
Well, what an interesting start. 8 seconds into the second half. First offensive play for Midview, and they now find themselves down 2 scores. PAT up and good, 21-7 Rangers. So mentioned how smart of a play that was from Carson Mattis. Ethan Bytel, not much he could do there as he was just looking for Kucera there in the flat. Thought he had him. Outside linebacker almost came out of nowhere, was getting blocked. He got his head up, saw that, stuck the long arms up. And what an athletic play there from Mattis, and huge swing of momentum coming out of the locker room for the Rangers.
You know, if you're a defensive coordinator, ear to ear right now, Cole. Ear to ear, that's how you're smiling right now. That's just the type of play that you preach. Just all year long, hey, we need you to read this. Read your keys. It literally tells you what's going on here in a bubble screen. Read his keys, and then Carson Mattis was able to get the pick to that house. Whew. That was an amazing play. Let's see how Midview responds here.
This kickoff, a little bit deeper, takes a bounce right in front of the 15-yard line. Picked up off the hop, out past the 25-yard line, up to about the 27. We'll see how much extra yardage they give on that return there. And looks like it's going to be up close to the 29-yard line. That is where, by telling the offense, return again. Need to bounce back after the disaster that struck on that last drive.
You know, Cole, all year long, I'd like to say how much I just don't like bubble screens. That's truly why. I don't understand them. They don't make me happy as a former offensive lineman, but here we are.
Kucera in motion instead. A keeper, Bytel up the middle. He has room to run and gets out past the 40-yard line. First down on the gain of 11. So really nice play. Bouncing back after the play they had before on offense. And we have seen plenty of room open up the middle for Bytel when he's gone with those keepers. 4 receivers wide. Kucera in motion. Bytel looking out to the far side, finds his receiver, and a fumble. Ball's out, and the Rangers jump on it. The defense, big play after big play. 2 turnovers in the matter of 3 plays for the Rangers defense. Outstanding, and you mentioned defensive coordinator is going to be smiling from ear to ear. Not sure how much bigger that smile can get, but you know he's still going to be thrilled over there on the sideline.
Absolutely. I mean, you have 2 turnovers in a game as a defense. I mean, you generate that. That usually means that you're winning or on a course to win the game. And right now, that's where North Ridgeville is. They're on a positive course to win the game. If they can keep this up, that's just, again, defensive coordinator, you're smiling ear to ear.
Man in motion, that's Ennis. And he is wrapped up in the backfield. Meeting him was Alex Swarinski, the senior linebacker there, and going to be a loss of 2 yards. Second and 12 now, ball on the 42-yard line. North Ridgeville taking their time. Coming out of the huddle. See Charlie Steinmetz, that H-back on the left-hand side of the line. The throw Out to the far side in the direction of Ennis. It's just going to be a little out ahead of him. Falls incomplete. Watchhorn just led him a little bit too much. Third and 12 now following the incompletion. And we have seen the Rangers go to the ground on these third and longs here before. We'll see if they do it once again. Instead, back to pass. Watchhorn. And this one, turnover, and Midview picks up that football, and they take it down to the 33-yard line, and actually going to be great field position now for the Middies to respond back. Defenses coming up big here to start the second half.
I mean, I don't think we've seen the 2 years that we've done this together, Cole. 3 straight possessions to open up a half. 3 straight turnovers. 1 interception for a touchdown. Middies give that up. Middies then fumble, and then with Ridgeville right back, they throw a pick. I don't think we've seen that.
Yeah, starting to look a little ugly out there, but definitely competitive as the defense is winning out. Here's that keeper. Bytel up the middle, trying to follow his lead blocker and his tailback, Anderson. Gets forward to the 30-yard line. Gain of a few yards there. Two receivers to the near side of the field, 2 to the far side. Running back to the left of Bytel. He's going to look left on the throw. Short. It's going to force a dive, and that one's going to fall incomplete. Kucera laid out for that one, but picked that one up off of the turf. Will be now 3rd and 8.
It's not even that both teams can't get anything going. It's just sloppy play at this point. See if they can kind of get rid of this curse here. If Middies can pick up this first down and get something going. They've been bad here in the North Ridgeville territory before they can get to the red zone. Getting to that red zone is key. It's almost a completely different playbook once you get there.
There's a clap of the hand, looking left, and that one thrown high. An interesting penalty marker coming out. Yes, there was a little bit of contact, but that ball was sailing well over the head of Zach Gilchrist. He had no chance to get to that one. It looks like they're going to call pass interference on the Rangers, and I think the home crowd has a right to be a little upset with that call, Dom.
Yeah, I did not think that was pass interference. I know these refs. I mean, they do a great job, right? I mean, there's not as many refs as there once were, and they do the best they can with how many they have. So it's nothing against the refs. We're not critiquing, right? But I feel like if that hit was a second sooner or a second later, then sure. But I feel like that was perfect timing with that call, or with that hit.
And the officials have been spot on most of the night. That one, just one of the maybe few mistakes they've had all night, gives the Middies a gift and some extra yardage, but the front 7 there, the Rangers tough against that run. No gain on that carry on 1st and 10.
It's a lost 1, actually.
So ball now back to the 16-yard line. And this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. Bytel rolling to his right, looking towards the end zone. Kucera has to come back to it. And that one falls incomplete. Looking to the official, wanting a call there for the contact. Defensive back, number 81, Xavier Compton, tight on him. Again, if that's one, Bytel could have led Kucera and put that out in front of him. Probably should have been a touchdown there.
Yeah, he was caught. Kucera was trying to, hey, flag. There was no flag there. I know he's hoping for it, but no flag to be found. It's a good no call. Still an opportunity here. Now they're in the red zone, but can they make good of their opportunity?
Here a short pass to Kucera. Gets past the 10-yard line and brought down after the gain of 6. So now 4th down, but much more manageable. And I would assume that the offense is going to stay out on the field for Midview and go for this.
Oh, you have to. It just you have to at this point. This offense, they need to put up a touchdown if you want to win this ball game, Cole. I mean, this will be their 3rd time either in the end zone or just around it where they have not been able to convert.
Rolling to his left, Bytel. He's got Kusera out in front of him. Flips it as he's hit. It hits in the hands of Kusera. Incomplete again. 3rd time. A turnover on downs. And that's the 3rd time of those turnover on downs that the pass was intended for Mason Kusera.
You know, that ball was where it needed to be, but Xavier Compton, just beautiful defense. I believe that's who that was on that play. Phenomenal effort, able to break up that pass, not letting him bring the ball into his body. An even more difficult catch while he's landing on the ground. That's just phenomenal defense. Give credit where credit's due. Now the Rangers have an opportunity where they need to get the ball out of their own end zone, essentially.
And that one floated out of the hands of Bytel as he was hit, but managed to get it far enough to Kusera. Gave himself an opportunity there. Here's the handoff to Ennis. Ennis taken down in the backfield. Going to be dropped at the 9-yard line, loss of a yard.
I don't know if you saw that. That was a double handoff. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that. That was a little tricky, but you have some of the midi players keeping their responsibilities, following their reads, leads them right to the ball. That's just, again, great defense. The defenses since after the first quarter have been great.
Yeah, they have.
Just maximizing their opportunities.
Very different game compared to the first quarter between these teams. Here's the snap, handoff up the middle. And maybe getting back that yard that they lost on the previous play. Zach Barnhart surging forward to get back to the 10-yard line, to the original line of scrimmage. 7.5 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Rangers still lead 21-7.
You know, this Rangers team wants to keep doing what they've been doing, but it's just not working. I mean, this Midview team has really turned up a notch on their front 7. I mean, they're playing at a different level right now. Keeping the ball in front, closing the gaps, just great effort.
Snap looking over the middle. This one high, it's tipped, and a tip catch. A little bit of a tip drill there for the offense. And coming down with that is Devin Williams. Move the chains, 1st down. That's not how they drew it up, but it worked out.
How does that happen? How does that even? That's just. At first, I'm like, oh, the Middies can get this one. No, it's Devin Williams right there in the right spot at the right time. I mean, we've seen tip plays, not one like that where that was just absurd.
Here's a snap, the handoff, Barnhart. Penalty marker down the backfield. Looks like this is probably going to be holding here, going against the Rangers. So as the officials talk this over. So actually looks like an illegal shift there actually going against North Ridgeville. And Midview decided to decline the penalty after the loss on that carry. Loss of 3 yards, 2nd and 13 from the 25. Two running backs in the backfield now with Watchhorn. Jump up front, encroachment on the middies, and 2 of them jumped. Number 55, R.J. Lambert, as well as number 61, Gabe Borer.
You know, this Middies team, if they ever want to take a step up, it's when you're a defense and you have an offense that is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and long. It doesn't matter what down it is. you have to get a stop on that possession.
Right.
You cannot let that offense, whether it's with penalties, whether it's with a long pass. Now, the tip pass happens, right? Nothing. That defense played as good as they could, right? So that's not on them. Sometimes it happens in this game. But they need to take advantage. I mean, I like to see the numbers of the third down and second down conversions here.
Back to pass, rolling to his right, pressured from behind, hit as he throws, and arm should have been coming forward there. That's just going to be incomplete. Nearly a sack there. Watchorn just able to get that out.
You know, if I'm a Middies coach right now, I'd probably be arguing that was a fumble. I don't think it was, but I'd make that argument. Sometimes when you have someone that's hit, a quarterback is hit, I mean, there's times where the ball doesn't look like it looks like he threw the ball, but sometimes that can be called a fumble. So I would argue that to maybe influence a call in the future. It's like what managers do in baseball with umpires, but I think the right call of incompletion was good there, but hey, I would probably argue that there.
One following that ball hitting the turf. It's now 3rd and 8 from the 30. 4 wide receivers now for the Rangers in that pistol. Man in motion, Steinmetz. Steinmetz gets the football, splits through 2 defenders, and making another man miss past the 40-yard line up to the 45, moving the chains. Excellent carry there by Steinmetz.
He's one of those players that they want to get him the ball in different ways, whether it's in the backfield, they'll put him in motion, hand the ball off to him in different ways. But they really like throwing him the ball as well. But this offense is geared for the run, and that's how they're giving him the ball. I like it, Cole. Keep giving him the ball any opportunity you can.
Innes in motion now. On the sweep, he gets the ball, runs into his own blocker there, and then gets pulled down from behind at the 50-yard line, a gain of 5 yards. So 2nd and 5 now from the 50. 4.5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Both of these teams looking to break that deadlock between the two, both 1-3 in the SWC. Here's the handoff. Barnhart looking for some room there. Got about 2 yards, and then a penalty marker comes out. So personal foul, face mask going against Midview on the tackle there. So giving some extra yardage to the Rangers as the offense is rolling here right now. More of a tight bunch set off to the left-hand side. In the pistol, looks like Barnhart's going to get the handoff coming to the left. And Midview saw that one coming by the way it was lined up. And taken down in the backfield. And a penalty marker also down on the turf again. So things starting to get a little bit sloppy penalty-wise as well. And a hold going against the Rangers. So after the positive penalty for the Rangers, moving them forward, that Midview gifted them with the face mask penalty, very next play backing themselves right back up behind the chains.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of good things from these teams, but there's a reason why their records are their record. I mean, to credit North Ridgeville, they do have a positive record, but you look at conference records, the reason why it is what it is. They have a lot of things to iron out. North Ridgeville is a lot more young than this Midview team is when you look at their stars. So Midview, it's kind of a rebuild again next year as well.
Here's a handoff up the middle, some room to run. Carson Mattis gets to the outside, stiff arms the defender, and gets the extra yardage all the way to the first down marker. So on a 1st and 22, that should get all the way out to move the chains. Again, looked like he was right there. And maybe they're going to say just short. Actually, they might just end up measuring this one. I wouldn't be surprised because it looks like that football's there. Instead, just a touch short, and they're going to leave it how it is. Second and maybe half a yard there after that excellent run from Mattis. Two running backs in the backfield. Hand off to Mattis again. He breaks a tackle up to the 10-yard line. Spot him down officially at the 11.
You know, they only use him from time to time, but he's been great, Cole. And I know at the end of the game we're going to be discussing his name for obvious reasons, but he's stood out to me today as really a difference maker. Cole, he's a sophomore. Yeah. This North Ridgeville team for the next 2 to 3 years, there could be a spark, you know, coming from this team here.
A lot to build on with the young talent. Here's a handoff. No, fakes the handoff instead of pitching to the flat, and Ennis taken down right at about that 10-yard line. Got maybe about an additional yard. Midview player down and a penalty marker also down near where that player is down on the ground. So looks like it's going to be going against the Rangers. Shooting themselves in the foot just a little bit there. Hold once again, backing them up 10 yards. So now going to be first and very long, as they've got to get to the 2-yard line to pick up the first. Ball on the 24. 2.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Clap of the hand. Keeping that, throwing it out. Had a man. And Charlie Steinmetz tried to stretch his right paw out there and haul that one in. Would have been tough to turn that one into a one-handed catch. But if that one had just a little bit less on it, maybe a little bit more loft and floated up there, Steinmetz had plenty of green in front of him. He would have been able to take that one to the house, Dom.
I mean, he's just an athlete. His sophomore mistake there, and I'd be able to haul that in. But, again, a sophomore. I mean, Cole, this team, I'm already excited to see what we could watch. And not just next year, but in 2 years as well. I mean, freshman running back, sophomore quarterback, sophomore wide receiver, just so many options.
Here's a handoff up the middle. And really nothing there. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage on that carry.
Now you have 2 downs here to get a stop if you're the Middies. I think the one thing with the Middies that kind of halts them a little bit is that's a thin sideline for this conference. I mean, they might be the smallest school in this conference. Yeah, I don't know how big I have not seen Elyria in the 2 years we've done this, but they might be the smallest school when you compare these sidelines here. So there's not a lot of subs that are coming in for these starters.
Rolling to his left. Completion there. Going to need a lot after that catch to get closer to the sticks. As Watchorn found Ennis. So it chips away at the yardage that they needed. Gets them to the 14-yard line. Of course, need to get to the 2 to pick up a first down, so it is going to be 4th and 12.
It's a field goal.
So going to send out the field goal unit. Austin DeShazo here. On the left hash. Hold is good. Kick is up. Had plenty of distance. And an excellent kick. So that field goal there on the red zone trip. Brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Of course, visit them online at kelly-mac.com. So 24-7 in favor of the home Rangers.
I believe that was a 24-yard field goal, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, kicked from the 14-yard line. So, of course, that's 24 yards plus your 7, so 31, if I'm correct there on the count. Ball blows off the tee. Again, a cool breeze blowing across the field here tonight. Haven't seen really too many issues with kickoffs, but the wind just enough of a gust. Resetting this one up on the tee and set to kick this one away. A squib. This one's going to hop. Fielded at about the 25-yard line. Little room up the middle, past the 35-yard line, and up close to the 38. And Bytel and the Middies offense back onto the field here again. Now down 24-7, and they're going to need to get things clicking here. Minute and a half left in the third. You still got a full fourth quarter left to go, but you need to score on this drive to give yourself a chance to get back in this one.
Yeah, if you don't score here, you're kind of thinking, hey, our time's running out here soon, right? Don't have to score this quarter necessarily. In minute 28, it's a little quick than you really need, but hey, you can get things going here.
Bytel, quick pass. Kucera turns, trying to get upfield. Pretty close to the sticks, about 2 yards short. And because Bytel's had plenty of pressure in his face at times due to the Rangers' defense, you're starting to see that ball come out quicker and quicker. A lot of those short routes rather than trying to air it out down the field.
Yeah, we talked about the Middies defensive line being solid, but this North Ridgeville defensive line has been great as well.
Kucera in motion, throw out to the far side. The leap on the catch, hauling that one in, getting out past the first down marker, and out of bounds up close to the 45-yard line of the Rangers. Dane West, of course, with the catch there. He looks to be hobbling a little bit there, taking a punishment on the hit from the catch. A great job by the tall 6'1" junior receiver to climb the ladder, get up there, and then get the necessary yards after the completion. Kucera in motion again. Keeper Bytel up the middle. Gets forward for about 4 yards there. And there should be time for one more play here in the third quarter. Second down for the Middies.
And they will run another play, it seems. They're going to get this play off with about 10 seconds. That's what they do here. Oh, my.
On this one, over the head of Bytel. Slipped off of his fingertips. A little bit of a high snap, but he should have hauled that one in and lost it there. Thankfully for him, he was able to see where that ball was, dive on it. So it's going to be a very long third down win. Come out for the start of the fourth quarter. We're going to take a break and be right back here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Spins Bowl. Spins Bowl has 36 lanes and a large redemption arcade with a full bar and restaurant. It is truly a good time for the whole family as it has something for everyone, young and old. Swing by their website for more info at spinsbowl.com. TNT Construction. They provide residential and commercial remodeling, construction, and building services to clients in Cleveland and all of Northeast Ohio. Look them up today at tntcleveland.com.
About to get the fourth quarter underway here. Week 8 of the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week as the North Ridgeville Rangers at home holding a 24-7 lead over the Midview Middies. Now, obviously, plenty of time to play left in this one. 12 minutes up on the clock. Reminder, though, at the end of this one, don't go away because we'll have the Keon Sports Game of the Week post-game show. And we'll talk about our back attack snacks player of the game. Rolling out to the right, looking deep down the field. Vitella, jump ball, and nearly intercepted. Throwing that one in the direction of Tyler Reeser on that 3rd and long. And it looked like the defensive back, Costin, climbed the ladder a little bit higher, and he probably should have hauled that one in for the interception. But now going to be a holding penalty. Again, that marker was down here in the backfield. It is going against Midview, going to be declined. 4th and 17 now for the Middies. And you would think so far back here you need to send the punting unit out on the field despite the time on the clock.
Yeah, right now you have to think, hey, we got to punt this and get a 3 and out. No other real options here. They only have 1 return man here. They've had 2 all game. They might send that house. That'll be different from what we usually see. They have like 2 linebackers, so different formation than we've seen from the Middies. They might, or from North Ridgeville, pardon me. They might be expecting some type of fake. I don't know why, but desperation move for sure if it happens.
And here is that punt. Up in a sideways wobbler. It's going to stop dead just right around the 20-yard line and might have made it to the 19, and that is where the Rangers offense comes back out onto the field. Now, Midview defensively, they've done a great job of on 1st down and 2nd down, making things tough for the Rangers, putting them into 3rd and really even 4th and long situations. It's been once Midview's had them in those positions, the Rangers have been able to capitalize and get huge chunk plays to pick up those 1st downs. You can't have that if you were the Middies here on this drive.
You know, right now you have to do what you've done all game, right? Set them up for a 2nd and long situation. They've done that. But the problem is that this North Ridgeville team, they're not afraid to say, hey, we feel like we have nothing to lose here with a young team. We're going to throw some stuff at you that you haven't seen. You have to almost expect that right now, and you have to try to force a turnover at the very best. At the very least, you have to force a punt, and right now they're crowding the line expecting a run.
Here's the snap, the handoff, trying to bounce to the right-hand side. Had a little bit of room cutting back, but brought down after a gain of 1 on the carry. And the Middies have really kept Zach Barnhart quiet after a pretty solid 1st half.
You know, that 1st half, he only had 10 rushes, 44 yards. I don't think it's gone up much since. I'm interested to see later, but I mean, they do run the ball with tons of other people, so especially this quarter, or this half, I should say. And you have 2 running backs back there.
Barnhart and Ennis in the backfield. Awkward there as Barnhart thought that ball was being handed off. Instead, Watchhorn was trying to pull it back. Maybe pulled it a little bit late. So really no gain there on that carry. And now 3rd and 8 from the 21.
See, these are your opportunities right now that you have to execute on if you're Midview. This is what separated them from the Rangers thus far, is not being able to jump on these opportunities. It's 3rd and long, right? They're most likely going to pass. They were going to pass short of the sticks majority of the time.
Right.
That's what they like to do. They like to give the ball to some of their weapons. Enos, Steinmetz, those are some of the people so far they've given the ball to, short of the sticks.
Looking down the field, a defensive back jumping that route. Dane West getting his paw up there and really taking away that vision that Connor Costin maybe would have had on that ball. Could have been a big hit or a huge play. A lot of credit to West. We've seen him make an impact as a defensive back tonight.
Oh, he's been phenomenal there. Dane West is just one of those players that you can put on either side of the ball, and that's what you need. I mean, I played on a team where I had to play special teams, you know, offense, defense. This is the situation Dane West has, and he's been striving in it here for the Middies.
This one fielded at the 50-yard line by West. So 10 minutes left. Great field position for the Middies. Plenty of time to work your way back into this one. But you and I both know, Dom, down 17, this drive is crucial. They have to come away with not just a field goal, they need 7 points to realistically have a chance here.
I mean, there are a few scores down right now. Not what they imagined coming out of the half, but here they are. Still have a chance in this one.
Bytel pressured up the middle. That was a great blitz, but Bytel showing his athleticism, getting out, getting forward past the 45-yard line, down at the 43, gain of 7. Good thing for Bytel that he has quick reactions because he was going to get rocked on that middle linebacker blitz up the middle. Now 2nd and 3 from the 43. 2 receivers to the near side of the field. H-back to the left. Running back to the left of Bytel. Looking. An interception there. Xavier Compton picking off Bytel. And a big hit there. Trying to return that after the interception. A little bit of fighting and a scramble between the two teams. And officials, coaches getting in there before anything gets ugly here.
Well, I wonder what's going on there. The refs are trying to clear the sidelines. There's some bickering between the coaches.
Yeah,
wow.
Coaching staff's not too happy with each other. A little shouting back and forth. But I actually say the coaches that ran out there on the field did a good job of breaking that up between the players to make sure there wasn't a fight. So not sure exactly what they're shouting at each other about, but really kept that one from getting out of hand.
When you look down there, Xavier Compton, who got the pick, has the turnover hat. Well, where's my hat?
You're still missing that hat that you wanted, that you loved the band's Ranger hat out there.
The band has a hat. Xavier Compton gets a hat. Where's my hat, Cole? Why don't I have a cool Ranger cowboy hat going on?
From the time Dom got here tonight, he has wanted a hat. If he does not leave with a hat, he's going to leave a sad, sad man this evening.
Listen, I want to go home. I want to throw on a Ranger hat. I want to feel like a Ranger. I want the full Ranger experience, Cole.
Of course, Dom Clary, the head of covering Maction here at Keon Sports. So he's going to be at Bowling Green tomorrow. Bowling Green hosting Buffalo. If somebody gets him a Rangers hat, he might very well wear that to Bowling Green tomorrow.
Be front row of the interview room at the end of the game. Hey, Coach, how do you feel about the game? Hey, why do you have a Ranger hat on your head?
So after the penalty going against Midview, it's going to move the ball into Midview territory. So the Rangers now going to have it at the 45-yard line. Just a little under 9.5 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. An opportunity to really kill some clock, maybe ice this one away as the Rangers working their way towards a win here tonight. The pitch to the near side, trying to get around the edge, and that edge is set. Charlie Steinmetz taken down.
the crowd not happy about it as you hear the, oh, come on, from about 10 people. They thought there was, maybe a late hit. I was putting down the stats, but I didn't see exactly what happened.
Yeah, and at the 43-yard line is where he's taken down, but really more so swung out of bounds. It looked like one of the little ball boys over there on the sideline got hit by the players falling here on the side. So, again, hope that he is okay. 2nd and 8 after the gain of 2 from the 43. Barnhart and Ennis in the backfield. Hand off to Barnhart. finding a little bit of room, spinning forward. They're going to be about a yard short of the first down marker.
No, I could be mistaken. Is that a pistol wishbone formation?
I think so.
Isn't that awesome? That is the coolest formation I've seen so far.
And penalty marker down on the field once again, going against the Middies. Face mask. So giving the additional yardage there for the Rangers, and now a first down. And just some discipline issues here now for the Middies. I think this is starting to be just some frustration coming out as they're finding themselves down in a game that they thought going into the locker room they had a chance to win because it was close. Here's a snap, the handoff. Barnhart tried to hurdle over his offensive lineman that was down on the field. And a penalty marker down here now. So some physicality, some more chirping, just a little bit of stuff going back and forth between these two teams, as I don't think they're going to leave friends here tonight.
Not at all. Is there a rivalry here, Cole, that I'm missing? Is there something that goes way back that I'm not getting right now, or is it just two middle-of-the-pack teams trying to separate themselves from each other?
I am not sure if there's anything more than just being SWC opponents, being in the conference. Of course, they see each other every year. Both came into tonight thinking they had an opportunity to win this one, and they're really battling it out. And that penalty mark was down the field. The officials talking it over. This game really went by fast in the first quarter. Because of all the penalties, because of the turnovers, slowed things down. The officials have actually been very busy, especially here in the second half.
You know, and I've played in games where the refs have literally gone into the game, where I've talked to refs years later, and they said our goal was to make sure there wasn't a fight. That was their entirety of the goal. Right now, this is probably where the refs are, where they're saying, hey, we're starting to lose control of this game. So now we're going to see some flags that are kind of to calm the players down.
Ticky-tacky things.
Sometimes you need to do that to get control, because a tic-tac play could turn into, you know, a fist flying or a shove, right, or whatever it may be, and you want to stop that. You don't want that to happen. I've seen a high school brawl that almost shut my high school's football program down before I would have even been in high school. I've seen that, how that can affect two communities when you're not allowed to play night games anymore, and the funding is cut in half for the programs. That can affect everybody, and that's not what you want. The refs don't want that. The fine people that run the conference don't want that. So as a ref right now, your job is to limit, hey, let's prevent something ugly here.
So after the officials sort everything out, 2nd and 8 from the 31-yard line. Just over 8.5 minutes left to go, and movement up front. Going to be a false start on Andrew Ennis. So now 2nd and 13 from the 36. Back in the traditional pistol. Handoff Barnhart, he's got some room. Down to the 20-yard line. Move the chains. Now into the red zone. And this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com.
You know, I really like what I see from Barnhart. He does not stop, right? He's kind of plateaued there in the third quarter, beginning of the fourth, but he just keeps running. Positive things will happen. He trusts his offensive line.
Handoff up the middle once again. Instead, trying to get out to the left-hand side, and hardly any room, only a gain of 1. But you saw all the blockers lined up on the right-hand side. Surprised they didn't try to run it towards the right. Instead, went towards that weak side.
You know, in credit there, to Barnhart is he was hit into the backfield for maybe a loss of 2, loss of 1. And it's easier said than done, but he has a rare ability of falling forward. It sounds simple, but when you're hit, when you're not expected to, it's easy to fall back. The ball placement is where your feet are. But if you can fall forward, you can influence the amount of yards there in front of you.
Here's that handoff up the middle to the 18-yard line. Gain of 2. So Carson Mattis getting another carry, and he's going to remain out there on the field. Haven't seen him get too many touches at running back, but he has been an impact player here tonight. Also on defense, getting that huge pick 6 first play of the second half. Lone man in the backfield with Watchorn. Watchorn rolling to his right, throwing this one high for Ennis. It's off of his fingertips and nearly picked off. Coming forward was number 26, Cross Worthy. That's the second time tonight he's had an opportunity at a pick, just unable to finish. Fourth and 8 now from the 18, 7 minutes left to go. And the special teams unit now out on the field. Saw that Austin DeShazo has the leg. After his last field goal, had plenty of distance on it. This one looked like it near was blocked, and that one short. Had a lot of backspin on it. Didn't hit it like a line drive like he hit the last one. And now the Middies, after not conceding any points, back out onto the field at the 18-yard line. Still down 24-7.
You really do need something quick here. I mean, this is, I think, this is the second week in a row that we've seen a team that've kind of played themselves out of the game with turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, Minter definitely had a tough second half against Medina last week.
Because I think if things go differently, even just with the first half alone, the Middies could have 21 points here with them getting into the red zone as many times as they have.
Bytel pressured in the backfield, and he's brought down for the sack. Big loss there. Rangers defense was all over that one. Dropped at the 13-yard line. Second and 17. 6.5 minutes left to go here in the fourth.
You know, credit to this North Ridgeville community. It's grown over the years. More talent is coming in, more kids in the neighborhood. The school just continues to grow.
Bytel back to pass, looking over the middle, has Kucera, throws it a little bit high, just off of his fingertips. Defensive back number 17, Evan Monter, breaking that one up.
And you know, I worked for a company, I9, where, you know, we coached in the community out here in North Ridgeville. And I talked to some of the families, and they told me that, you know, they see that one day that they can compete with the Avons and the Olmsted Falls of the world and the, you know, Avon Lake. And just that the community's growing still. And they're just, more people are coming in, more people are staying. There's more young people now than ever, in that they can see one day, 10, 15 years down the line, where, you know, their student bodies as big as those schools, they'll be able to compete as well. And they believe that they can do that. This could be the start of something new here, Cole.
Bytel back to pass, rolling to his right, trying to escape, getting around the edge, back to the original line of scrimmage, and he is absolutely popped as soon as he gets close to that 20-yard line. Fourth down, Midview. And even though this is a time where they really need to get down the field and score some points, buried so deep close to their own end zone, coaching staff going to decide to send out the special teams unit, going to punt this one away. 4th and 10. So nobody back to return. There's the punt. This one is going to take a hop close to the 45. Positive roll there for the Middies, and going to stop dead at the 36. So the Rangers love to run the football. We talked about it from the start before this game even started. You have Steinmetz, Ennis, Barnhart, as well as Mattis. 4 guys you can hand the ball off to, and right now you're at a point where you really don't need to throw the ball at all. Just run, 6 minutes left, up 17, drain the clock.
You know, this year it's kind of been, I don't want to say normal, but it's been Avon Lake, Olmsted Falls are at the top. But next year, things could maybe change, right?
Absolutely, and pitch there, and Steinmetz gets pretty close to the 40-yard line, up to the 39.
Oh, but you know, like I said, as you know, let that play out. This is a team now. Maybe not win the conference, right? They're still young, still a lot to learn. I mean, they've gave up 60 so points to Avon, so they're not quite there yet. But this could be a team that could challenge an Avon Lake or challenge an Olmsted Falls or beat a Berea Mid Park. This is a team next year where we might have to mark them and say, I wonder how much they grow. I wonder what this team becomes next year once they get some experience, because they do have some wins here so far.
Ennis on the jet sweep, out to the far side, gets around the edge, and gets about a positive yard there. And penalty marker up in the air after Ennis was taken down right on the Midview sideline. Coaching staff kind of throwing the hands up in the air, not sure what they're upset with over there. We'll await the call from the official. So unsportsmanlike conduct going against the Rangers. It's a needless penalty there following that Andrew Ennis run. So ball backed up now to the 24-yard line. After the 15-yard penalty. So third, and should be 25. Trips left. Watchorn in the pistol. A little awkward there. Thought he was actually trying to hand that one off to Barnhart. Miscommunication, and he had to just turn and run that himself. And the punting unit going to come out on the field and send this one away. Just under 5 minutes left to go.
So, Cole, I got a question here, right? Does North Ridgeville do they have a bye at one point? Because they only have one game left. They have 2. Well, you can't trust Max Prep School. You just can't trust them. So they play Berea Mid Park next, and then Avon Lake, 2 challenging opponents. I would like to see what they do against Berea Mid Park. I mean, let's see, is that a home game maybe? No, that's away.
Dom's looking things over. This punt off of the chest there of Cameron West. Picks that one up at the 30-yard line and taken down.
I'd like to see what they do against Berea Mid Park.
Yeah.
I mean, Berea Mid Park is usually, they're top of the middle of the pack. They're usually right below the Avon Lake in Olmsted Falls. They're usually that 4th team.
Right.
They make the playoffs for Division I, but they're usually on the outside looking into that top 3. But North Ridgeville could possibly challenge them for that spot next year.
Well, and keep in mind, Elyria in this conference now, again, they're a team to watch out for, too.
Oh, you mean they lost to Elyria. So you can't really discredit them. Elyria team that put up 42 points against North Ridgeville.
Yeah, and Elyria is a tough addition to the conference as well. Timeout for Midview. Wanting to talk things over here before the first snap of this drive.
I mean, Elyria is a team that put up 32 points on Berea Mid Park.
Yeah, close one, 34-32.
In a close one with Olmsted Falls as well. No, they weren't able to keep close with Avon, but not too many people can. And they're only, I think, only down by 7, Avon Lake. I don't know if that's correct or not. Have to look into that. That could shake some things up.
There's a lost set of keys that will be available at the south end with security. A lost set of keys that is available.
3 receivers out to the far side of the field as Bytel in the gun. Tail back to his right, pressure from behind. Looks like offsides. And the officials are going to have to blow this one dead as Carson Mattis getting a little bit jumpy there. Really had a free shot to get to Bytel, so smart of the officials to not let that free play go. Protect the quarterback there. Move the ball 5 yards forward. Now at the 35, 1st and 5. Tyler Reeser checks in. Lines up here on the near side. Dane West and Cameron West off to the far side. Bytel rolling right, looking down the field. Pressure from behind, and he's brought down from behind. Loss of a few yards there on that run. Two receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Bytel back to pass, and that one tipped at the line of scrimmage, intended for Cameron West.
I mean, it's been a completely different story here for Bytel in the second half. I mean, that first half, I mean, he was just phenomenal. And he has not completed a pass further than 8 yards since the first half, where his longest was for 45 or for 56.
Well, he's been out of rhythm, but also North Ridgeville's up the pressure. The linebackers are getting sent a lot, making him scramble. He has a lot of pressure in his face. This time, stepping up in the pocket, delivering a strike to the outside. Dane West on the reception and a first down, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. 3.5 minutes left to go.
You know, they're going to try to get a touchdown here, but I don't know if it's really going to affect much other than the scoreboard a little bit when it comes to the outcome of this game. This is a North Ridgeville team that's done everything they had to do to get in a position to win the game.
Trips left, Bytel rolling left. Now looking back, throws this one up, jump ball, 50-50, and falls incomplete. Again, that matchup there between number 39, Tyler Reeser, and number 8, Connor Costin. Twice we've seen 2 50-50 balls nearly result in incompletions. Almost seeing Reeser need to turn into a defensive back in order for it not to turn into an interception. 2nd and 10 following the incompletion now at the 45-yard line. The spread, 4 receivers out there. Bytel looking to the sideline, finding Dane West right at the sticks. Ball moves up 10 yards to the other 45, the Rangers' 45-yard line. And getting out of bounds, slowing that down with the clock. Getting it to stop because they continue to get out of bounds. So incompletions and at least getting out on those positive gains, helping Midview move the ball down the field. It's hardly any time coming off. 3 receivers here to the near side, tailback to the left. Bytel's pass low and behind Reeser. Falls incomplete. Only 3 seconds tick off the clock on that play. 2nd and 10. A reminder that at the end of this game, myself and Dom, we will step aside for just a quick breather, but we will be back with the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week post-game show, and we will announce our Back Attack Snacks player of the game, so make sure to pay attention to that. Bytel pressured from behind. This one ripped out from behind. Fumble on the ground, and the Rangers recover the strip sack there from none other than Carson Mattis.
So, funny story. I was just doing his stats because I feel like he's going to be in a conversation that we're going to have here shortly, right? And I'm writing it down, and I'm like, oh, I wonder who got that strip sack. Number one gets up, pumping his arms in the air. Of course it was him. I mean, as a sophomore, I can't think of any player that we've seen other than maybe one or two in the past, this year and last year, past 2 years, that we've seen have an impact on a game that he does on different parts of the field.
Well, you'd say momentum was kind of 50-50 at the locker room just because even though North Ridgeville was up, Midview had just picked that ball off and kept North Ridgeville from scoring and going up 2 possessions. So you felt like it was 50-50. First play of the second half, Carson Mattis picks that off, takes it to the house, pick 6. Momentum has been North Ridgeville's way the whole way. He did make a huge stamp on this game, just a huge footprint to make things go his team's way. Now 1st and 10 from the 48 is the offense back onto the field for the Rangers. 3 minutes and 4 seconds left to go. Still up 17. Very low scoring second half. Defensive battle.
They're milking the clock out as Mason Worcester is hitting the gritty. Yep, there he goes. Did you see that? On the bottom there.
Got the dancing moves here on the near side of the field on camera.
Hey, if they give me a hat, I might go down there and do a dance-off with them. Only if I get the hat, though.
Dom Clary needs that Rangers hat. 3 minutes left to go in the game. Handoff. Barnhart gets forward past the 45-yard line to the 44. Gain of 5. So taking their time, getting the play call in. Down to 2.5 minutes. 2 running backs in the backfield. Movement. I think that was missed. Looked like that should have been a false start there, as the halfback kind of fell forward. Here's the handoff up to the first down marker. That should move the chains there for Zach Barnhart on the carry. Now at the 38-yard line. Clock will stop as they spot the ball.
Who was that with the carry again? Cole, I was writing down.
Barnhart.
Barnhart, of course. I'm really excited to watch his career play out.
He's got a long career coming up. Big freshman running back. Going to be calling his name for years to come whenever we are here at North Ridgeville games, whether that's at home or we see them on the road. He's going to be an impactful player for a long time to come, safe to say. Now 1 minute and 45 seconds. Opportunity to go to that victory formation. Of course, you're going to see them do that out of the pistol. Not going to take that snap under center. Just going to be about 2 more kneel downs here for the Rangers to win this one tonight. You'll see them move to 5-3 overall, 2-3 in the SWC. The Midview Middies will fall to 2-6 and 1-4 in conference play. So the Rangers snapping that 3-game losing streak, getting back on the right track Now the Middies going into next week facing a 3-game losing streak themselves, and they're going to try to get back on the right track, just as the Rangers did here tonight. I want to thank everybody again for watching and listening live here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel. Again, as I always remind you, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button here on the channel. And make sure not to tune away quite yet, because myself and Dom, we're going to step away here for a brief moment. We're going to talk some things over about the Back Attack Snacks player of the game, and then we'll be right back to let you know who our player of the game is, and we'll get Dom's final thoughts on this one tonight. That does it. North Ridgeville again winning this one 24-7.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Travel by Mickey. Now is the time to make memories once again, and Mickey Beachler with Travel by Mickey is just the person to make all the arrangements for your dream vacation. Reach out to her at Mickey Beachler at mousemadesimple.com to begin your next big trip today. With Mickey, you get to experience all of the fun with zero hassles or stress of any kind. From a Disney cruise to a trip to the Greek Isles, she has every dream destination covered from liftoff to touchdown. Village Coffee and Creamery. From the founders of Nancy's Main Street Diner comes Village Coffee and Creamery. They have everything from dessert, lunch items, and coffee to ice cream and every kind of sweet treat you could think of. They are located at 486 Main Street in Grafton. Westside Flea. Ohio's favorite flea market and festival will be coming back this spring and summer once again. The Westside Flea has something for everyone and will be held at North Olmsted Park on August 20th and September 17th. You can find them on Facebook at Westside Flea to learn more.
And back for the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week post-game show. Cole McDaniel with Dom Clary here, and we're going to keep this short and sweet as the Rangers win on homecoming weekend for them at home 24-7 over the Midview Middies. And we're going to switch it over to our Back Attack Snacks player of the game. They are a healthy option on the go and provide the very best option in healthy snacking. With everything from beef jerky to roasted almonds, they have it all. Visit them online at backattacksnacks.com. And Dom, you and I are both in unison here. We said there was one guy who really showed up tonight. We mentioned his name quite a bit in the second half, our Back Attack Snacks player of the game.
You know, at this big of a division that we see, it is a rivalry. They got a trophy and everything. But back to our conversation, rarely do you see a player playing both sides of the ball, impacting it in a big way. We had a few players last game, but there's one person that impacted not just on offense, but on defense as well. And that's the young sophomore, Carson Mattis. He's listed as outside linebacker, but they should just put athlete. At 5'11", 158, he can impact the game in a multitude of ways, Cole. He had 4 rushes, 62 yards. Think, how's he player of the game? We had a pick six at the very first play at half that completely changed the game around, in that 50-50 momentum switched right over into ice the game, where, hey, the Middies were kind of making their way downfield, trying to do a last-ditch effort to see if they can get in the game. Not so fast, my friend. Strip sack there for Mattis once again. He's our player of the game, Cole. He stood out, and I can't wait to see where his career takes him.
Yeah, and Midview had actually won 3 of the last 4 matchups between these teams. The last time the Rangers won was in 2018. So, for the home team, I'm sure they are happy to get this win. Also, shout out there to Carson Mattis, as we named him the Back Attack Snacks player of the game. The Rangers walk away with the trophy. Dom Clary still does not have a hat. For everybody out there, again, watching, listening to this one, we appreciate you tuning in. We've had a great night here. That is going to wrap up Week 8. Still Week 9 and Week 10 of broadcasts coming here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel. For myself, Cole McDaniel, Dom Clary, as well as Brandon Soder, everybody, enjoy your weekend.